good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you will get to watch this video. So, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Wamboi, and if you are a returning subscriber, if only you knew how much you appreciated, yeah. So, I got a request on my channel from somebody it was a very good request, and I so much appreciate when you guys make me do these sit downs, yeah. So much better. So this person asked how my mindset has changed since relocation. Oh my God, it's such a good, I'm almost kicking myself wondering why the hell did I never think of making this video, because so much has changed and I'm in such a good place right now because I'm half niko mguu ndani mguu nje, so I can give a really good perspective on that, yeah. So don't mind I have the Christmas candle is already burning. It smells like cookies in the house. I'm always wondering, who is baking? And then, anyway, okay. So I think this will be a very long video, and I really hope you get one or two things, yeah? So, since relocation, I will jump right in. I'm sorry, I don't have so many stories, but if you like my content, kindly subscribe, share with your friends, and ask them to subscribe so we can grow our community, Cindy. Yeah. So, number one, and one of the most important things I would say, my mindset. Okay, nimekula waru leo, so my mindset changed. It has changed towards money. I will say money and how I view money, although this was really not a problem for me because I did a bit of traveling even before moving to Germany. I had a good travel record, yeah. So I had money was really not, unless I did not have it and I was actually broke and I needed to do something or buy something or something. That was when I had pesa. Obviously stresses are pesa, but normally I was never. I've been brought up in a very decent home. Sijai kuwa yani na uzo shida, and I am really thankful for that, yeah. My mom was very good with keeping hizo si stresses za mtoto, so we were never getting involved with hizo stress and everything. But my mindset about money, I'm saying in the perspective of another person, yeah. I feel pesa ni mingi kama uko majuu, because ukiwa majuu, that money is not a lot. I will give you an instance, yeah. I have a friend, I think he watches my channel, so I will not give so many details, but he was telling me he earns around 700k, yeah. And ukiwa Kenya, and that is now money converted to the country where he lives, yeah. Ukiwa Kenya mtu akwambia anapata 700,000. That is like, what? You're getting almost an M per month. Yeah? That is big money. But ukiangalia, first of all, when that is gross salary. Yeah, ile pesa before taxes. The moment your tax inakatwa hivi. Oh my God. And mind you, let me give you an example of Germany. Taxes zao, they go up mpaka uko 45%. Imagine ile pesa unakatwa, you almost half your salary is gone to taxes. Juu hiyo inakukava zile mandatory pension, unemployment, hizo you covered hizo tax unakatwa. Hata tuseme hata 45 ni mingi, that is like for a high income earner, yeah. Tuseme hata ukatoa hiyo 30%, pesa yako imeenda. Haya, ukumbuke once tax is gone, sasa you have the separate insurances, yeah. So kama uko na gari, insurance ya gari. You have insurance if you have a pet. Kama in German, you have to pay. If you have like a dog, you have to pay tax for that, yeah. And then you have vitu wezi zile, unaona venye you cannot say you're very smart that you will avoid some of these things, because something like a liability tax. Liability tax ni ile, if you go outside there, nipatane na mtu labda, sikuwa nafungua mlango, I'm opening the door and then somebody is standing there and then I kind of push them and then they fall and then they sue me to start saying, yeah, I got hurt, maybe my hand got broken, she broke my hand, she did this. So you're covering yourself for that to avoid going to court and paying this person thousands of euros, yeah? You need something like that. You get liability and then you have a home insurance. Because just because uko maju does not mean you will not get home insurance. Home insurance is so important because there's always fires, there's sometimes even floods, there's maybe an electrical fault. Like I think a few weeks ago, a friend of ours, akiwa job, there was something happened with the electric. And then when he went back home, he found his router blew up, everything was fried in the house. Sasa, me when I was told, I was saying, at least he has insurance. And then I'm being told, no, he did not buy insurance. Sasa imagine he has to replace all that. No, it's a lot of money, yeah? Higher. You have health insurance to pay. You have to, if you've been having, maybe you got eye checkup or something, they are fixing something with your eyes or your teeth, that is a separate thing. You have that to pay. Yani, the insurance is just, they are piling up the bills. You see now from your 700, after tax has taken almost more than a quarter, ndo hiyo sasa umelipa ma insurance zako. And then bills are waiting for you. Remember, your bills are not kidogo. Kwanza rent. Rent will cut your money until you're like, what? And then people start asking you, unajua ukiwa Kenya, ukiwa Kenya, somebody is asking, kwani unaishi nyumba ya how much? And then you're telling them, oh, maybe I'm paying 1,500 euros. And then someone, unaishi nyumba ya 170k. And then, it does not work like Kenya, because the moment somebody in Kenya tells you they're living in a house where they pay 170 Gs, that is like a palace. That person can go rent out a castle. But okay, not in a bad way, don't msinichukulie vibaya, but you get my drift, yeah? Sasa you've come, you that is kwanza in the cities. So it's just a nice, just like a decent apartment, and you're paying so much money. Rent imechukua most of the money from sasa after sasa hizo the other important aspects hizo zimekatwa. You have your rent waiting hapo imekuchungulia. And then you have bills. Now these are the normal bills. You have electric, you have water, you have heating. And mind you, heating bills don't go away at you. It's summer, you're not using the heat. You have to pay that. You have bills, they always come. Higher, you've paid maybe health out, something, a health bill out of pocket, because vitu kama saa zingine tooth cleaning, maybe you went for, like the way I went for an ear checkup, they send you a bill. So saa zingine you have to pay the bill and then you go sort out go negotiate with your insurance provider when kama at least they will pay you back half. Higher. And then you have other bills. Maybe you have school. Maybe you have a child who is in daycare or kindergarten and you have to pay monthly for that. Na saa hiyo, let me remind you, huku, si kama Kenya, you can go and defend yourself. Huku, it's automatic. Huku hakuna ati kama sahi, if my child gets sick for a month, that does not mean I will stop paying kindergarten for her. That is continuous until I pull her out, unless I say, okay, I'm pulling my kid out, so I don't have to pay you. But the moment the child is registered and admitted, bill is a bill. You pay it, yeah. So you've paid for school, and then like in Germany, there is a TV and radio bill that comes per year you have to pay for that. Yeah? Haya. Alafu, you finished hapo. You have to pay for your food and drinks. And you know, the economy is not only bad in Kenya, it's bad everywhere. Yeah? The economy is bad kila mahali kunawaka moto. So, you have to pay that. And then maybe you have a holiday. Kwanza, when you have kids, you cannot keep them in the house all the time. Maybe you want to drive somewhere. Maybe you want to go see a lake somewhere. You have to save for that. That is a separate, you put that money aside, pay that bill. Yeah? Higher, you have a car. You have to fuel your car. You have to take your car to the car wash and stuff like that. Because here, you cannot just, you go stand out there and start washing your car. You soap up your car and you what? No. You go to they say apparently the soap, when it lands in the drainage, I don't know, it's as if it was a climate change and global warming and polluting the environment. You cannot do that. Watu labda sasa when you have your own house, that's when you can do your own things uko ndani. But if you're living like in apartment complexes like where we were living before, you cannot do that outside. No, na? Higher. Alafu, you have extracurricular activities, especially for kids. Your kid cannot be staying home kila time. They have activities, they have maybe music lessons, they have football, they have swimming, they have karate, they must be doing something. Yani ile to just keep your kid up and active, yeah? So you pay for them. So that's another bill. Higher. And then maybe you go to the gym. Yani, your money is coming in, but kwenye inaenda, it's going. Mpaka unapata, it is not uncommon that ata utapata savings get very, very almost non-existent. Juu lazima, sometimes you have to sacrifice so much of your cash, as in ile useme, let me put this aside for a rainy day. It is very, very stressful. Alafu kwanza, a big change happens in your life, like you move. Wow. You've moved to a new place, ndio? Probably, it is more expensive, because getting something within your price range is always debating. Moving to a new place means you build your own kitchen. That means you buy your own kitchen. That means that is a new expense that has come in. Yani, and then you go to maybe the house, to say you are luckier, you got a bigger house. That means you have to buy stuff now for the house. Yani, it's like you cannot win. I will just say, it's almost impossible to win. You cannot win. This is something you. So, on that note, yani pesa ni mingi tu kiwa. Kama huku pesa ni mingi sana. Somebody earns even an M, and that is a lot of money when you're in Kenya. When you hear your bills, the more you are earning, the more your money is leaving you. Yeah? Because you have all these bills piling up, monthly, weekly, mpaka it's like umechoka, punda mpaka anachoka. Yeah, so that is one thing that changed about me. The mentality, hata when I talk to somebody, saa zingine, people tell me, hey, hiyo ni pesa unaongelelea ni kama si pesa mingi. And then I tell them, ni juu hauko huku. When I explain to somebody, I'm going up a town, but I'm taking the bus, yeah? And then mtu ananiuliza, how long will you be going? And then I'm like, 10 minutes. And then, people normally from home, they are so curious. And then, unalipa how much? And then you're like, 10 euros. And he's like, what? Unalipa yo pesa yote? Unalipa thou for 20 minutes? Umwambia, but it's how life is. Life is not only cheap huko, only hard huko. It's also hard everywhere. Yeah? The value of money, just because thou 10 euros hapa is like 1,200 at home, does not mean itakubaiya what something at home itakost. Huku you will find kakitu kadogo sana, you're paying 2 euros for something, even a pen. 250 for one thing, unaona. So your conversion, wanda unaambiwa once you relocate, that money conversion, just stop it. Just stop it, because you will never enjoy life. You will be counting things, and you will never do anything because you are so afraid to use money. And Huku, you have to use money, because if you have kids, you have to pay for extracurricular activities. You have to do this. You have to take them on holiday. You have to pay to vitu, unaona, to vitu tudogo, but the expenses are there. So that has to change. You relocate your mindset about money and converting money. No. That really has to change. Otherwise, you will just form a bad relationship with money, and that is not good for anyone. Yeah. So, also on that same nini, you also come to see that we I don't know how to phrase it. Maybe I will figure it out later on in the vlog. So, number 2, my mindset also changed in terms of how I viewed social life. Let me tell you, abroad, isolation is real, especially, I will not say Europe, I'll say mostly Germany. Because I've gone to Italy, I've gone to Austria, and people are more friendly. Here is where people are not friendly at all. Isolation is real. And let me tell you, there's nothing as dangerous as learning how to live by yourself. Like learning how to be alone. You're not weird. You just get too comfortable, and I don't know if that will ever change. Because Kenya, I was so social. And then even when I think the thought of going home, I feel like I just want to be around family. That's it. I don't want to meet anyone else, because my life, even here, the closest people I really have are my family. And that's because we do very frequent video calls. And it also depends, because when you are like talking with my mom, you can talk for hours. That is, your social life is reduced to like a group of people. You get so isolated. And even people you were with at work, at school, at whatever extracurricular activities you do, those ones don't really become your friends. They become an acquaintance. What is that name? Acquaintances. People you just know. Yeah? Because Tena, I will be very honest with you, a lot of people here specifically, they are not even friendly to fellow Germans who come from another place. Like East Germans and West Germans, they also have that separation. Like huyu mtu ni wa East, huyu ni wa West, wana avoidiana, which is so weird. Okay, it's not weird because in Kenya we also have tribalism, yeah? But Huku, it was a bit weird because I was like, okay, so you classify one another, and then now you classify immigrants. So where, it's a bit weird. But, alafu, you learn that people like hanging around people they grew up with, people they've known for years. So making new friendships becomes so difficult. Because unaenda kuingililia you're jumping inside other people's relationships, and people here don't like that. Alafu, people are so wary of foreigners. Okay, hatuna sifa mzuri, but people are so wary of foreigners, which makes it quite difficult to integrate. Yeah? Haya. In other instances, you get people who are friendly to you, but they have an agenda. And that is one thing I hate. I don't like people who, they are being friendly to you so they get information from you. Unaishi wapi? Who is your family? Are you married? What do you do? Yeah, there's a lot of that abroad. It happens a lot. Kwanza, the people you meet here, not the other immigrants, they are mostly friendly to you just to pass time. They want somebody to be talking to. You maybe in that area you moved to, that village you moved to, they probably have been the only immigrants there for years. Alafu sasa wameona mwingine and then they're like, oh, now I can have a new friend. But sasa it's just to pass time. And you see, pia they are using you in a way, so you end up wanting to stay by yourself tena. Haya. So in other cases, you find that there's a lot of hostility. That is why maybe my mindset changed, because you always hear stories of maybe these people were friendly to me when I came to work, and then all of a sudden they are leaving me out of group trips, or my all the colleagues at work, they did an activity during the weekend and I was never invited to vitu kama uto. So small things, but they really affect you. And let me tell you one thing. Mtu asiwahi kudanganya. You see, when people in Kenya wanakwambianga, mimi hata mtu endi anaonesha madharau aje, mi haiwezi ni affect. Sinajua niko huko kutengeneza pesa. Let me tell you something. It really affects you. It does not matter if you're made of stone. Hey, Leo, what is happening? It is going to affect you. Because we are human beings. We need other people around us. So when you go somewhere and people are isolating you, and it's not one case, it happens here, it happens there, it happens there, it will get to you. I will not lie to you. Alafu, the other cases of jealousy. You are an immigrant, ulikuja huku, and then maybe your life is so good. Unajua pia sisi as Africans, we know how to organize ourselves. Unapata msee alikuja, anakuwa mjanja, ana work, ana save, anafanya, and then you're living very good life. You're doing good holidays. Uko Instagram, unachokoza huko. Yani, you're showing actual soft life. Sindio? And then there's this person here. He was born here. They were married here. They got kids here. Their life is here. Alafu, and a struggle. And then they are seeing you on WhatsApp status or something, having a time of your life. You're in France. You're in Italy. You're in Austria, you've gone to Sweden, you've gone to the Netherlands. And then this person is like, what the fuck? This immigrant just came here 5 years ago and they are living a better life than me. They are touring these beautiful places that I will never get to go, and then they get jealous. No. Sasa that is where, now, that's why I'm saying your mindset about social life changes, because that is when you will realize these people are not your friends. They will start now eliminate. Sasa we want to see with all that hatred and anger and jealousy at a turn people who know you against you. Sasa it will be like, oh, this person came here, is taking advantage of the system, is making money here, is living a good life. No. So with that jealousy, your life now starts going, unapata shida. Ndo maana, when you come here, you will see a lot of people telling you, your boss is not your friend. When you want to put WhatsApp statuses, you block people like that. You block your colleagues from seeing your statuses. You make sure they're not on your Instagram. You block your bosses, stuff like that, because you don't want easy vitus outside to affect you at work. No. So there's a lot of that. There's a lot of jealousy. You have to be very careful. Another thing you have to be careful of, there's a lot of snitching. Sitakudanganya. Huku, masnitch ni wengi. That's why even when your music is loud, your neighbor calls the police. If your kids are misbehaving, ama they start saying, oh, labda, you're giving too much freedom, unaanza kuona watu wa child services wamekuja, wanaanza kuchunguza because of snitches. Snitches ni wengi, even at work. Snitches ni wengi. A lot of snitching is happening, and you have to take care of yourself. Don't give them the power ya take vitu from you. I will give you an example, but I will not be very direct because that one is related to somebody I know. This person used to go to work. Acha niongee Kiswahili. Huyu mtu alikuwa anaenda kazi, walikuwa wanafanya kazi pamoja. So, akienda kazi, unajua sasa lazima you sign, inaitwa kufanya clock in. Huyu mtu alikuwa na clock in. Haya, alafu anafanya job, anachapa kazi saa moja, masaa mawili, alafu anatoka nje, anaenda anavuta fegi kidogo, alafu anahepa. Si yeye unajua normally huku fegi hiyo time ya smoking time iko allowed. You don't have to clock out, si ndio? Enda piga kake kamoja tuwili, alafu anahepa masaa kama 2 ama 3, alafu anarudi job. So unaona amekataa wasa zake. Kumbe saa hiyo anafanya utoto tabia. Kuna mtu anaangalia mtu tu ako hiyo the same station, anaangalia huyu mtu venye anafanya, akaenda sasa akamseti kwa boss, akashikwa, akafutwa kazi. Unaona, people are so much into your business, you never know who to trust. People are so much into your business, you never know who to trust. Unaona, kama haya, in the previous place I lived there so long, na kuna mtu aliwahi, mimi sikuwa nataka hata kujuana na neighbors until this old lady came, and then she was like, oh, you do this, I see you here, I've been seeing you here for a while, nataka tukue marafiki and all that. And then later on she just got weird, alafu nikakuja kurealize yeye ndio Kameme FM hiyo region. She was the news headquarters of that region, so we had to stop being friends with her. You see, yani, you will never know the agenda of people. People are not friendly. Before you get that one genuine person, it will take a long time, and you have to be patient with things like that. Yeah. Haya, the last thing that has changed my mindset about being social with people is racism. I will not lie to you. It is so much. It is so strong. Here, it is alive and well, alive and kicking even. Yeah, so you never know how these people view you. Na hawatawahi kuambia. You will just know after a very long time. Why am I playing with this? Haya. After a long time, ndo utakuja kurealize, no, that person is fucking racist. Yeah? After a very long time, because people hide so well. They just maybe avoid you. Kuna wale, they don't know how to be subtle. Sometimes you walk on the street and then you see this old shosh is walking behind you, and then when it comes to somewhere she will meet up with you, she goes around or something. There's that. And then there's that racism of they do it with people around you. You will never know until one day you catch them. Let me give you an example. So a while back, yeah, somebody was talking with Stefan on the phone, and they were on loudspeaker, because sometimes when he's in the house, he puts his phone on loudspeaker. So he was talking with somebody, and then that person was talking about me, and then he used a racial slur. And then I was like, what the fuck? I know this is somebody I thought was a friend, so why will you use that word to refer to me? And then so Stefan was like, what the? He also, okay, one thing, I could not, how do I say, blame Stefan and say, you allow your friends to talk like this. And you see, I did not see the sense of blaming him. I just told him that person talked like that because you have allowed it before, and he thinks it's right to use that word. Yeah? And then the number one defense of these people, is that, they did not mean it in a bad way, or maybe that person has been raised in a very racist family, so this is like a normal way to use. And I hate that. I hate that because I don't get, because this person actually knows it's a racial slur. This person will not use it if they have a black boss. They will not use that word against when referring to that black boss. So they know it's wrong, but they still have excuses. Oh, we did not mean it like that. And then another one I hate is people telling you, you're not like other black people. And there's a time somebody told me that, and then I asked them, normally they don't like being approached like that. But then I asked them, what do you mean I'm not like any other black person? I am a black person. How am I not like other black people? And then they're like, oh, you're married to a white guy. And I was like, Yeah, so, and they got really defensive, and yeah, I'm born in a different time when it is normal to use that word. And guys, it is, yani, with all that happening around you and how you view social life, you will change your mentality, because these people will make you tired. These people will make you tired. So my mindset has changed in terms of who can I relate with here, who can I talk to, who can I, yeah, because me, I'm very good with grasping me something racial. Namtu, let me tell you, because I know a lot of my viewers, they are people looking to relocate. Let nobody ever tell you, you go there, racism should not bother you. It's going to bother you, and you have to have a very strong mind. Because sometimes it comes from a place you thought it was so innocent, and then it hits you, and then you will need a minute. You will need a minute, trust me, and it's good to take that minute, because the moment you let those things accumulate, it's not good for you, yeah? Let me give you another incident that happened. So, when I was, I think, maybe a year ago, I got on the bus. I was going somewhere, and then these school kids get on, and then they are saying the N-word repeatedly, and I'm looking around the bus, and I'm seeing I'm the only black person there. Yani, it will hurt you. Those things, accept and kubali, they will hurt you, and it will not go away. I don't know. It's a thing that breaks you. It shows you the kind of society you're living in, and you're like, what am I doing here? Huh? Because if a kid can say something like that, and they actually know what they are saying, it's not, nobody lie to you, they don't know what they are saying. They actually know what they are saying and what they are doing, yeah? But some parents here, they are raising terrible human beings. You have to accept that in this world, there's maybe a parent who is not doing a good job and is raising people like that, and you worry that your children will grow up in a society with things like that, yeah? So your view of social life is going to change. You're going to stick to people who genuinely love you, genuinely respect you, genuinely have your what is this called? Genuinely have you in mind when they are doing things, yeah? Okay, so the next thing, I think my mindset has also changed when it comes to material things. When you live here and your life is okay, you can afford basically any electronic you want, you can afford to live a comfortable life, you start the small things. Yes, you appreciate that. You really appreciate that you can buy very expensive electronics, you can have a very expensive car, you can have, yeah, you're grateful for that. But those become small things in life. Like, you see the importance of being happy in your house. You start seeing the importance of having peace in your life. You see the importance of having your kids in your life. You see that those now become the big things. They become, oh, this is so important. I'm so happy to have a place I go home to, and I'm peaceful, and yeah, those material things, they become very insignificant for you. And I think that is why it's so surprising when I don't know, maybe it's because when you cannot afford these things, they look so important until you have them, and then you're not holding on to them so much, yeah? But you realize when somebody is coming, like when you're going home, I think that's why it affects people, because when you're going home, you look at these people, and then you talk to maybe a friend, somebody who was a very good friend of yours before you left home. You talk with them, and then one person is telling you, Kwanza, people, they don't even request, they demand. Usikuje bila simu. Don't come here without a phone. And bring me a good phone. I want the latest Samsung. I want the latest iPhone. That hurts you. That I will be I will be frank with you. That really hurts you. It really hurts because it looks like you have managed to afford everything, and then now when you're going home, somebody is putting you back in that you're only important because of what you're bringing. Let me give you another example. You talk to somebody else, somebody who has known you so many years, and then this person tells you, you just come. I just want to see you. I just want to talk to you. If you want to buy me stuff, you can buy whatever. I'm okay with whatever. That is so good. That feels so good. You feel so appreciated. And even you will find yourself shopping so much for that person because this is a clean heart. This is a person who genuinely just wants you home, who wants to chat with you and sit down and talk with you, and considering your place where social life is practically dead. That means so much to you, yeah? But the material things, I also don't get that thing because I've never told you ati unilete simu. Do you know how much a phone costs here? It's the same price. It's actually double or triple the price back home. The only advantage here is that when you make when you make many purchases, yeah, when you have a very good purchase history in like Amazon, they will give you like a lipa pole pole option. Different change of location. I have things to do, so I will just multitask here. So like Amazon, yeah, Amazon has a lipa pole pole option, but you must have very good purchase history. And I'm not talking small things that you buy something for 5 euros, 10 euros here, and then you think you will. Amazon can trust you with a phone worth 1,000 euros. No, you have to have years of very big purchases for them to see that they can give you now the monthly option of paying, and then through that you can now buy. That's why you see some people you can get an expensive phone, something like that. Yeah, they can trust you to pay small money, and then they just cut it automatically from your account. Yeah, and then most of that, okay, that really comes in handy, yeah, because at the same time they also give you an option of automatic purchases, like things that you buy so much, they give you the option of them sending it to you. Like they will check your purchase history. Do you buy this thing after every 2 months? And then now they will be every 2 months they bring it automatically, and then they just cut the money from the account. And it's just a matter of trust. So telling somebody you're going home, and instead of people getting excited about it, unaona mtu anatry kukuhanda and all that. It's not fun. It does not feel good. It does not feel good. And you kind of learn that after you've relocated, when you see people are so materialistic, like the only importance for them is the stuff you can bring, and you're already struggling with a lot. So since I moved, I think how do I phrase it? I don't take it badly for those people who just show up at home. You know, those people who relocated and then unaamka asubuhi unatokelezea mama yako akipika chai. I don't blame those people, because when you start telling people you're going home, people will start sending you spare parts for cars. Sijui go check for me simu sijui gani, sijui look for me with shoes, sijui sasa wewe. And then most of those people are like, simu ni 200 wapi? You don't get 200 for a phone. You will find a person is paying for their phone for 2 years. So that is your mindset for these things. It changes so much. That's why you take it so personally when somebody is coming and anakuharas about these things. So guys, it's days later. I have ended up I forgot about you guys, but I'm back. Yeah, I will pick up where I left off. So I think content creation is easier for people without kids. I don't know why. Because let me give you an example. Fiona, stop. Go play there. Go play there. Because like now, that day when I was doing the video, I realized I was wondering, the baby is very quiet, and it turns out she was plucking out all the flowers from a flower I bought and I've been keeping alive for so many months. And when I caught her, her first reaction was to give me a flower. Yes, which is very sweet, but considering the damage that she's already done. Anyway, hiya. To pick up on where we left off, I was saying another thing that changes is how you view investments back home. Yani, when you relocate, there is no small investment. Even people you meet, they will be like, kumbuke, you should do something back home. Regardless of how big or small it is. Akuna, there is nobody judging you. It's always good to have a home. Sorry, I'm getting distracted because Fiona is attempting to walk and she's taking a few steps here. Hiya. There's no small or big investment at home. It's so important. A lot of people are always reminding you, when you're doing your thing here, remember home, invest, do this, do that. And that is very important. It keeps you having a goal and stuff like that. Although at the same time, you also meet those people who are like, Mimi, I left home, I'm done with home, I am not thinking of investing there. When I get old, I will be taken to a home here in Germany. I can get old there and die and get buried here. So it depends on who you are hanging around, yeah. But I will tell you, it becomes so important. That land, that house you're building there, it gives you a lot of peace of mind, because kwanza when you have a house, a home somewhere you can go, you book a flight and you know, I will just get an Uber, it will take me home. It is priceless. It is a priceless gift. That is why sometimes you meet, like I think a week ago I was seeing this, it was meant to be a meme, but I think it was meant to be, I don't know in what context, because it was like people back home are selling their land to come abroad, while people abroad are running to buy these lands because they want to go back home. Yeah. So I think some of these problems, it only comes up if you've already experienced abroad. And then you realize, wow, home is so important. That kind of investment, that kind of house, that kind of peace of mind that you will just book a flight here and you go and you land into your house and you sleep and nobody is disturbing you. And you don't have the tax man sending you letter, bill here, what. It's so priceless. And that mindset changes because when you're at home, you're thinking that abroad, I want to make that money. Until you realize with all that money, you need that peaceful feeling of home and peace, having peace when you go home and stuff like that. Those small things that don't look important. Because like in my case, when I was in Kenya, I was more focused on making money. I never thought I can invest in anything like that. I mean, my mom was always saying invest up. She taught me how to do like money market funds and stuff like that, and I put some money in, yes. But I was never owning a home. Something like owning a home, owning land was really not a priority for me. And then now I'm sitting like this and I have my kids and I'm like, I should really have a home in Kenya. I should really, when I'm visiting, I should not be staying with people. I should be taking my children to their home, yeah? And when they are grown, they can decide, I want to go to Kenya, and they know, kuna home, yeah? So that changes for you so much. That perspective of having a home, owning something back home that is 100% yours, something you've built with your own sweat, and something you just want to enjoy is something that really changes once you relocate. So the next point, your perspective on a good hangout moment. Yeah, this one, it looked so irrelevant, but then I was sitting, and then I was sitting, and then I was like, right now, normally, like in Germany, when somebody invites you over, you will know it's a good moment when they are telling you, oh, we are having a barbecue and we have Kenyan food or we have African food, you can come. Yani, it's not like home. You know, home, when people are like, oh, it's Friday, tunaenda party, you're going in Naivasha, Nanyuki, what. That is drinking. Drinking, I think home mostly drinking, probably a road trip somewhere or like a trip somewhere. That is a good moment. Maju, that is, it's a good moment is going to, not even outdoors where you mixed up with the locals and all that. No. It's going to somebody's home, and then they cook you some good African food, and then you watch, like our very good friends, when we go to their place, we cook very good African food. Alafu, we don't even heavily drink. Mostly we drink kachai. We make some Kenyan tea with the milk, and then we sit, and it's just stories about home, opportunities of investment, and then we watch Kenyan content on YouTube. Yani, it's just like creating a small home environment with your friends, and then maybe have like a barbecue. Yani, some of these things, it changes, because now that is like a good hangout. When I hear something like that, I'm like, yeah, that will be so much fun. And back home, it would involve a lot of drinking and I don't know what, but here it's so different. You just want to chill with people from home, eating food that tastes like home, talking and watching stuff that relates to home. Yani, it's just that you always go back there, yeah? So that is something that has really changed for me. And even I think when I'm going home to visit, I will be on the same here. Play with that one. I think it will not be like the before I left. I think now I will just want those family moments, just sitting down with my mom and my brothers and my dad and just talking, and maybe going around, looking around, seeing what they are doing, seeing things I can do, stuff like that, yeah? Hiya. Something else that changes is how you view your health. That for me personally, it really changed, and I will what is the name? I will say it's because here your health is really under a microscope. Normally, the fact that it takes forever to get even a simple doctor's appointment makes you kind of more focused on knowing what is wrong with me, what is ailing me. I want to know if there's something deeper. Plus, your insurance covers you for these annual checkups. You see, like me, when I came, I don't know, for some reason my ears are not so good, and Stefan was always saying, you need checkup. So we made an appointment. Obviously, months later, I think a year later, I got the doctor's appointment, and then the doctor was like, oh, for your age, your hearing is not good, but we will keep monitoring you. And I was given an appointment 2 years from now to go back, yeah? And then he could not really do much, but he was like, yeah, watch things at a low volume, try to focus, do this, yeah? And then you have like, okay, Fiona. And then when you go to the doctor, they test you for everything. Let me give you a good example. When I was going to my women's doctor, when I was pregnant with Fiona, they were doing tests for everything, like even cancer. Yeah, because once they take your blood, they are doing all the tests that they can to make sure to eliminate a problem later on. And you see, that makes you know so much about your health that it is something you would not have figured out if you're in Africa. Because normally in Africa, you go and tell the doctor, my problem is this and this, and then he or she checks 1, 2, 3 things, yeah? But here they do a thorough one. Even when I went to deliver now at the hospital, they did not even, they only checked the pregnancy book only a bit. They redid all the tests. They took all my medical history according to what I could remember. Yani, it's like you will always know where your problem lies. They tell you you have to do this, and then when you go to the doctor, they give you the next date of appointment. It may be 6 months away, but still you will go and they will check if everything is okay, yeah? And they also manage your conditions. Like now me, although I talked to a couple of people and they told me it's a common occurrence. People from East Africa are always found to have thyroid issues. I don't know why. I tried to do a bit of research and it showed it's because there was a study that was done and it turns out, yes, there's a problem, and that's why our salt is iodized, is added some iodine to balance it out. So I think when you move, so for some people, the body cannot adjust because here they don't take iodized salt. You have to buy that. It's like a special kind of salt. They don't take that, so you will be found with thyroid issues. Okay, it's really not a problem, but sometimes a doctor will exaggerate. He will be like, oh yes, you have to take medicine. Like during pregnancy, they always say, no, you must take extra medicine to manage your thyroid and stuff like that, yeah? So, and that is, okay, it's a bit stressful because you can imagine 9 months you're taking medicine that you'd actually not have needed in Africa. So yeah, but at the same time it also makes you appreciate the walk-in options that Africa provides. Fiona, who are you talking to? The walk-in options that in Africa, that hospitals in Africa provide, because you don't have that here. Here, you will suffer alone for many months before you can get that appointment. It's like hunting down appointments, yeah? Alafu, for some of these doctors, once they take you in as a patient, okay, your insurance, regardless of the type of doctor you're seeing, your insurance covers you 1 checkup a year. Here, mama. Your insurance covers you 1 checkup a year. And you really have to go for that appointment. I was seeing somewhere somebody complaining that their doctor called and said they've been removed from their list of patients, that they should find another doctor. And then people suggested, yeah, because you probably never go for your 1-year appointment, so the doctor is seeing, why should I keep this person on the list and they don't need me? Yeah, so it's cat and mouse. It's business. The doctors here have a number of patients, like a quorum of patients they can have. So if you don't follow up when the doctor says come back after 1 year and you don't follow up on that, shauri yako, within 1.5 years they will put you down. They will remove you from the list and call you and tell you find another doctor. Yeah. So people like that, like the women's doctor, after you get the baby, you have to go for the 6 to 8 weeks appointment. After there, the doctor will say everything is cleared. Come back in 1 year. Before you leave, you're supposed to make that appointment, because if you wait it out, you might not get a spot again. Yeah. So the mindset about health my mindset about health has changed. It has made me more aware about what is happening with my body, where my problem is. Like, I did not even know I was allergic to cats. But I was telling my mom the same thing, and then my mom was like, I don't think so. And then I was telling her, yeah, they did the test. and I'm actually allergic to cats, which is funny because in Kenya, I was sleeping, my mom's cat was always in my room when I'm sleeping. I have never had like a flu or anything. Like everything has always been okay. So that was a bit weird for me too. Yeah, so my mindset on that changed. Yeah, please break everything, mama. Hiya. Another thing, this I'm not talking from personal experience because I've only experienced this here, but my mindset, I will say, about parenthood or childcare has really changed. Normally in Kenya, your child is yours. You can discipline them how you want. You can deal with them how you want. There's really nobody coming here and telling you, yeah, this child belongs to, the government is watching what you're doing and stuff like that. But here, there's like a microscope under you. Yeah, your child cannot miss doctor's appointments. Huh? Your child cannot be left. Your child cannot be left alone at home when they are young. Even at 10-year-old as a child, you cannot leave them at home. Your child cannot do this. Your child cannot do this because they are children. They are not allowed. You cannot leave a child like who is 10 to take care of a child who is like 7. That is not allowed. That is, yeah. And then another thing is affording a nanny is a luxury, and that is, yani, parenthood. It looks like it gets harder because you don't have this option of having a village assisting you, unless now maybe your parents are here, or you have very, very good friends with a lot of time to come and help you, because people here also have their own things going on. Because people here have their own things going on with their lives. They cannot stop their lives to come and help you. You have to figure it out by yourself, yeah? So my mindset about parenthood and generally childcare is changing, because I see it's hard. You're doing everything 100%. It's you. There is no help coming, and even help that looks like help is really not helping so much, because you find even if that child is like 1 year old and they are ready for daycare and stuff like that, you can only take them there for 4 hours. So 4 hours, it's just going back to the house and cleaning, and that's it. You have to get back your child. It's not easy. I will say it's not easy. It needs a very strong head to handle that. And to imagine you have your child, it's you 100%. There's nobody else coming to assist you. Yeah, so that changes. Alafu, now to my last point. Is there something I've forgotten? Okay, let me add something else. My last point actually is the most important point. My mindset about safety. But this is like a personal experience. My mindset about safety kinda is a bit, it may not be the situation for everyone, but my mindset about safety kinda, it's not, you don't feel unsafe. You just feel you never know. And you know that feeling is not always the best. You're here at home where you know, oh, I'm walking in the estate. It's like midnight, neza patana na mwizi, atanibia simu. Yani you always know what is going to happen. Here, your safety, and I mean like, it's not really, you're really not unsafe per se. Like somebody will not meet with you and do and harm you, but you never know with people, because you don't know how these people are raising their children, and you don't know how, when a person will be violent to you because of your race and stuff like that. Yeah, so you are always on the alert. You don't want to offend somebody, and if you feel like you're in a tricky position, you try and remove yourself from a situation that might escalate. Yeah, it's not, you don't feel unsafe. You just don't know how badly a situation can get. Sometimes it's always maybe your brain is lying to you, but other times your brain is actually right that something is not adding up. Yeah. Higher. The last point. Your mindset about your family. About your family, it's going to change. I'm not talking from personal experience. It's everything I've seen, I've heard, I've read. I've seen somebody going through here, somebody actually know. Your mindset about your family changes. Yeah, because these people you grew up with, the moment they see ulipanda ndege, you're not that person they grew up with. Sasa wewe ni boss, wewe ni sonko, wewe ni and then people will take advantage of you. Left, right, center, they will take advantage of you, and people will not care that you are not your person with bills and expenses and what. People don't care, and it hits you in the worst times. Yeah, you will see people saying, I'm getting paid, taxes are being cut, I hardly even have money for myself, and then my I don't know, my grandma is asking for a house, I don't know who is asking for rent to be paid, and then there is an aunt waiting for you to pay school fees to her kids, and then there's somebody waiting for you to put up a business for her. Ni kama you don't have expenses. Yani people message you. I will tell you from personal experience. There's somebody who actually messaged me, and the only thing they said was not even "Mambo, how are you doing?" That person told me, "I'm broke. Here is my number. Send something." Yeah. I ignored that message, and because sometimes you sit like this and you wonder what goes on in people's brains. Anyway, people don't think about anybody else. They only think about themselves. And the moment you've relocated, you have to prioritize yourself. Otherwise, you will go mad. Like me now, if I don't prioritize myself and my child, you think that person will care that my child is not needs money for daycare, or she needs to eat? So as I was saying, your mindset about your family, who is your family and who is your friend, it will change, and it will hit you in the worst times. And everyone, actually, it's not just like in few situations. Everyone who relocates, they always have this savior mentality. A savior mentality is where you feel like you need to help this one, you need to help this one, you need to help this one, and then it reaches a point, and then you're like, okay, I'm tired. You cannot save everyone. Na saiyo, these people, there is always, of course, there is the 1-2 people you will help and they actually improve their situation, and then there will be the person who calls you to buy them alcohol. Somebody's calling you for you to pay their rent. Somebody's calling you to pay fees for why? See, you have your own expenses, and that is why it's so difficult. You hear some people, they cut off family because of habits like that. And you will see in some situations, people abroad really, really try and help family. You will hear somebody who has put up a business for every member of their own family, and those businesses will never come up because these people will waste. They have no idea how to run a business, first of all. So they opened a business, and then they ate all the stock or whatever happened to stock, and then it is so disappointing. People are so heartbroken here. If people start opening up and telling you what is happening with their families, somebody is doing so much to help and bring up their own people, and their own people are not seeing it. See they have somebody a komaju. Money will always be flowing. Like somebody, I read a story that she put a business up for everyone in her family, and then she was expecting a baby, so she worked so hard throughout that time to make sure everybody was good. Yeah. And then she had told them, normally in Germany, after you get a baby, if you don't have a nanny, you don't go back to work for a year minimum, and you can stay out of work for up to 3 years so that your child can go to kindergarten. So this lady had told them, I have helped every one of you. You should know that for the next year, nobody should call me to ask me for money. Yeah? You see, she has set up everyone. She's like, now you guys run your own businesses, sort yourselves out. And imagine after she went on maternity leave, when she has a newborn, her family members are calling her when they don't have food. And then she was like, what am I supposed to do? I'm at home, I'm not working. How do you think I'm supposed to afford your life now? People are inconsiderate, people are selfish, and people have no mercy for you. You can work like a donkey, or is it like, and you will be dog tired of assisting people. Yeah. And it is at that point that you will learn there's a person you can put a business up for, and there's a person you can only buy lunch for. Anything beyond lunch is not a point of discussion with some people. And that is one lunch. That is not an everyday thing that you always calling buy me lunch. No. Some of these things, these mazoyanos, they are so common, and people are really, really suffering. People are going into depression, and you wonder where the hell this topic pisses me off, because people are so entitled to money that somebody else is making and is not even sleeping. They are doing so much work to afford that life that they even have, and they are not even living that good. They are struggling to pay their own bills, and then here you are, your family is insisting, you fanya this. And that is where you have to become a very difficult person when it comes to dealing with family. Alafu, it's so weird. Some people feel, no, you should prioritize me. Yani, for them, yeah, they feel you should prioritize me. It's like somebody was going to do something. Somebody asked for a loan from somebody who is abroad. Alafu akambiwa, yeah, I will give you that loan. It was small money. It was not so much money. And then this person said, alafu, I'm looking for a land in this place, and this is my budget. And then this person is telling them, yani, I had to beg you so much for small money, and you're thinking of spending this much money. And then this person was wondering, see, me, I'm looking for investments. Me, I'm not looking, I don't have that money to throw away to you. Yani, people are not understanding, and it's very sad. It's very sad. There is no need. This person has traveled so far and is struggling so much in a new place, and then people are just waiting with their plates up or to collect, like you owe them something. Yeah. Higher. I think that is, I've covered everything. So the person who asked the question, she also asked, what are the advantages and the disadvantages of this change of mindset? Yeah. I will go back to my first one. Yeah. The first one was my mindset about money. How do I maneuver that? I have learned to say no. I'll be very honest with you. My mindset about money, when it comes to borrowing money and doing, I have learned to say no. You call me and you have your problems, or you have your business idea, and it's not something along my line of interest, or it's something I can see it really does not have potential. Because sometimes people tell you things and they really have no legs, and you're 100% sure you're going to lose that money. You just say no, I'm not interested. I'm not right now. You learn to say no. And when I cannot say no, when it's somebody I cannot say no to, I just leave them to Stefan. He's ruthless. He's like, what do you want? You want this amount of money? Okay, no. Because they will not come back to me at the end start saying, Stefan said, I'll just, yeah, so I cannot help you. He said, no, that's it. It's a no. Yeah. Yeah, my mindset of, yes, I say no. I'm also I don't share my expenses with anybody other than Stefan. I don't explain money to people anymore, because what the calculation you're making and the calculation somebody back home is making is not the same thing, and it will never be the same thing. You will plan something. And I was having this discussion with a friend today. I was telling her, at home, the moment you say, let me even say 600K, say like 600K, the moment you say that, somebody at home will be like, wow, they are thinking so much money. Now, when you start figuring the sabus behind that 600 Gs, you're like, it's not even much money because of the things that are supposed to be done. Yeah. So I stopped discussing. I don't discuss exact numbers with people. I ask questions here, there, hapakule. I get details of things, but that's about it. That's pretty much it. I don't tell people I have this amount of money or I want to spend this amount, X amount of money. No. I stopped being specific. And I stopped triggering conversations. When you see a conversation is going somewhere you don't like, yeah? Because some people get offended when you tell them, I don't want to do business with you. People get very, very offended. And yeah, so you have to be very careful. You have to tread lightly when you're dealing with conversations about money. People are very entitled. You have to be, you just listen. You just get this sixth sense, and then you know, oh, this conversation is not going somewhere good. And then you shut it down, yeah? The advantage is that I think I'm able to save more. And I'm able to meet my goals. I would say I'm able to meet, or Stefan and I are able to meet a goal that we set, because we are not going around dishing out cash and stuff like that to people. Yeah. Higher. The advantage and disadvantage of your change of mind when it comes to social life. Well, the advantage is that I listen more, because you're not talking to too many people. You're not getting opinions from everywhere. People are not feeding you with all their stuff. You listen more, and you tend to think more before you decide something, or before you get a friend and stuff like that. And then you end up having very, very good friends. You end up with friends who you can trust with your life. Yeah, so having that small social life makes you get friends for life. Some people even become family. Your friends become like family. Yeah, because they are people you have talked to and you've seen this person is a good person, they reason like me, and this like this. Also, if you're having very good friends, they also get to wanakuchanua, watakuchanua sana. You get sharp. Yeah, they tell you do this, you should do this, when you get this, do this. Alafu you move kwa life, unasonga haraka sana, because these people are advising you in the right direction. You will move very fast. Yeah. The disadvantage is you get very quiet. You look like, I think ukienda home, people will be like, oh, you're so quiet. Are you okay? It's a bit sad, but at the same time, you have a lot going on. You're so focused. You know where you want to go. Hauwezi pelekwa hivi. The disadvantage is that it's just that it's a bit lonely. And it makes you miss home a lot, because home here, the kelele is really, really helpful. It's like therapeutic. So here it's a bit stressful. Yeah. I had another point for social life. I don't know. If I remember, maybe I will mention it. So the advantage of and disadvantage of my mental shift in material things. Well, the advantage is that most of that stuff is not so important for me. So your brain, you have you put more thought into other things. You put more thoughts into telling people how much they mean to you. Those small things that are ignored when everyone is focused on money. You put thought into things you do for people, yeah? Because like me, a friend of mine was telling me, when you're coming, you should just bring yourself. You see somebody, when somebody tells you something like that, you will when you're buying a present for them, you will go all out because this person made you feel like a human being. Unaona? Yani, some unimaginable things. You're forced to put more thought into it because it means so much to you. Yeah? And then the disadvantage is that now you see how much people can take advantage of you. Yani the darkness of people comes out. That is a big disadvantage because even people you thought were close to you, your family and stuff like that, you see true colors. And those true colors are not pretty. To be honest, it's not pretty when you have to stop talking to somebody because this person is pushing you to do what? Do you pay for me this? Buy me alcohol. Me when people start calling ati buy me alcohol. How? It's like the weirdest thing you can request somebody because that is why. It's like, do you not have any other priorities in life that you've looked around and you've seen I'm the only person who can buy you alcohol? Not that reminds me of those tutabias of those people you meet on the streets and then they're like nipe mbao, and then you know they're going to buy glue or something. Yeah, it is so demeaning. Don't do that. That is bad manners. Don't do that. The advantage and disadvantage of my change of mindset in reference to investments at home. The advantage is that you will have early home ownership. You will have something back home. Yeah, you have a life back home. You feel you have something to look forward to. Yeah, that is an advantage. You have something. Hata ukifanya job huku, every year you're like, oh, I must go home. I have my house there. I can do my normal life without what working investigate sana. Yani, it's very freestyle. It's very refreshing to go home and unwind and unajua unaenda kwako. Yeah, and then it opens you up to seeing opportunities as they are. Yeah, it helps you a lot. It's an eye opener. That is an eye opener. The disadvantage is that, let me tell you, like you might some investments are not, find out before you get the hang of it. Some investments are not worth it. Me kama sahi, I'm always, I don't know who I was talking to and I was telling them, mimi shamba ina title deed hapa. Mtu anauza shamba akuje kama ameuma title deed na mdomo, not in a bad way, but because shambas like those, they give you a headache, and you see you're here, you will not even start following up. When people start telling you, do you go where, it stresses the hell out of you. You want easy things. That is a disadvantage because you're living in a country where everything has protocol. And then you're dealing with sometimes a country where some things don't have protocol. They start unazungushwa. That pisses you off. Your mindset changes the moment you go huku because everything has a flow. You know, it's this step and this step. But at home, sometimes vitu zinafanyangwa madhogodhanyo. And then when you're here, you cannot even follow up vitu kama hizo. Unaona? So that is stressful. And how do you handle that? You have now to start finding somebody to go and follow up. And let me tell you something. If there is something difficult for people who have relocated, is finding somebody to actually do work for you at home. Jusita kudanganya, just because you relocated does not mean you don't need something done for you. Like you might need somebody to pick up a document for you. You might need somebody to go somewhere and follow up something for you. Finding that it is so difficult. Mimi, yani, that is why I really appreciate these errand people. Tunaonanga Facebook, they run errands. If you find one good errand person, you will never feel you will never feel bad for investing in those people, because huyo mtu ataenda ata complain, that is their job, atafanya hiyo kazi. But finding a family member ati aende akuranie errand, you're going to suffer, my friend. Finding somebody to run you an errand, you have to employ somebody for that, and it's so disappointing considering uko na watu wa home, you have people you're supporting and all that, but you have to pay a stranger to go and sort out your document problems, so you to go and check something for you. That is very, very disappointing. Very disappointing. Higher advantages and disadvantages of the good hangout moment. It's only advantages. I cannot complain. It keeps you relaxed. You become a chill person. You don't need much to be entertained. Yeah. Advantages and disadvantages of health. I think the main advantage is that you are on top of your health. You know everything that is going on in your body. That is a very big advantage. The disadvantage is that the lack of walk-in situations. That is a very big disadvantage. Juu sasa, if you have something like flu, you see, like now my child has flu, and I'm still struggling with it, I think a week later, because I cannot just walk into the pediatrician's office. I have to make an appointment. Na sai, her next appointment with her doctor, I think it's in January. Meaning I cannot get anything in between unless it's a very, very, very severe emergency. No. And that January appointment we were given like 3 months ago. Yani, getting... Getting an appointment with a doctor is like, it's like impossible. I know somebody who has a problem with their knee. Hey, what is happening? You have a problem with your knee. That person has had a problem even before I came here. That is like almost 3 years ago. And just the other day was the first appointment with a doctor, for the doctor to refer him what is going on? The doctor had to refer him to go and get a scan. And the scan is 3 months from now. Yani, almost 5 years to just get a doctor to tell you what is wrong. Yeah, that is a disadvantage. Child care issue. The advantage of is that you are with your child for a very long time. Sio kama normally some jobs in Kenya, because I remember like my mom was telling me when we were born, she was only given like 2 months. And you see, 2 months enough. That child is still breastfeeding and stuff like that, yeah. So I would say it's an advantage that you get to spend minimum 1 year with your child, and you can go up to 3 years without an issue, even with your work. Yeah, that is a very big advantage. The disadvantage is that you don't have the option of getting nannies, and okay, you can get a nanny, but they're very expensive. You don't have that. That is not, it's like a luxury. It's not something you can, they are very expensive. You don't have that village, so sometimes you end up doing everything alone, and it's not easy. Yeah, that is a very big one. Higher. For the family issues, there is really no advantage of people taking advantage. There is really no advantage to people exploiting you. Si uongo. There is really no advantage, and nobody should ever think that it is normal for stuff like that to happen. It is totally abnormal. It is unfair, and nobody should ever. You should feel very ashamed to take advantage of somebody just because they are not here to defend themselves, just because it's an option. Yeah, these habits of hearing who sent money and then Huku Germany and stuff like that, and you see somebody has no remorse for what they did, and they are just draining you and draining you and draining you. No, that should just stop. People are not donkeys here. People get tired. People are going through a lot. Give them a break. Yeah. So anyway, I hope I helped you in some way, in every little or big way. I hope my points were a bit helpful, despite the noise. Yeah, it happens when you have a small baby to deal with. These things are unavoidable. You try to keep them busy as much as you can, but nature has to take its course. Anyway, given those problems, would I have still chosen to relocate? Yeah, I think I would have still taken this chance and ran. But it's not because Najua, a lot of people look for relocation as like a last resort, like my life will only be better if I relocate. I will not say that was my situation. Me, I was always good. In Kenya, I was fine. Relocation was really not, I must do it. I was not in such a big-ish problem that it was not like a get-out situation. No. I relocated because I love Stefan and I want to have a life with him. And this was, we weighed our options and this was the best option. Yeah. But I would have definitely relocated. When you relocate, you learn a lot. And it's very eye-opening. Stuff like investing back home. That is an eye-opener. Because if you are home, you will see even a 40, 50-year-old ataishi tu kwa rental comfortably, hata feel like it's weird. But now me, I've left home and then I'm like, no, home you need somewhere for you. You need somewhere kama hali tu kako. You just stay there. When you fly home, unaenda kwako, hakuna mtu mnasumbuana. You can, the small things in life that people ignore, they become so important. You have your own small farm, you have your animals there. You just want that simple life where everything is, you have your own ecosystem running around, yeah? So, it's an eye-opener, more about life, about investment, about family, because now you know who to trust and who not to trust, yeah? Because once you relocated, even those people who never used to talk to you, at our family who were like, huyo ni nani? Once you relocated, now everyone is your friend. Everyone is, oh yeah, huyo ni cousin yangu, huyo ni sijui who, nani. Yeah. Once you relocate, everyone now wants to be associated with you. Na sasa, everybody's coming, 99% of the people are coming to you with an agenda. And you have to figure out how to keep them off. Because pia you want to do it politely. Kuna watu, they do it, they rip the band-aid off. Kuna watu, they are very comfortable doing that. For me, I'm not comfortable doing that. But I will say how it is. Me, if you're taking advantage of me, I'll be like, no, you don't do this to me. Yeah? And I'm very strict about, you need that. And I hope when you relocate, you have people by your side who actually have your back. And when I mean your back, it's somebody who goes and tells that relative who is disturbing you, wachana na sister yangu, wachana na mtoto wangu. My child did all she could, akaenda, wachana na yeye. Don't start harassing her to help you, ama to do this for you, yeah? You need that. Because people who suffer most are people who don't have that. You see your family, like your closest family, allowing your extended family to harass you. No. That is wrong. Please, never. When you're leaving home, make sure you have somebody in your corner. That person is to tell other people back off. Yeah? Because as in some people are soft. Kama mimi, I'm a softie. But my mom cannot allow you to mess around with me. My mom will call you and tell you, I had this and this. Can you please leave my child alone? and my child has things to do, and you need support like that, because some people are mannerless. So I really hope your relocation journey is very, very successful. And I will tell you, my mom tells me, has always told me one thing: when you're praying for something, always ask God, when you give me this, let it come with a lot of purity, goodness, and let it come with a lot of success. She says, hakuna haja uombe Mungu akupatie visa, and then when you get the visa, ni visa ya machozi. Yes, that is what it's not visa isikuwe ya machozi. You know what she means by visa ya machozi? It's a visa that you go there and you always cry. Life is not going any good way. You're suffering. Everything is going wrong. Hiyo ni visa ya machozi. Ni visa imekutoa kwenu somewhere where you're in a very good position, and then inakupeleka kwa mashida after shida after shida, and most of those things, when they start going like that, they never get better. Unaona? So I will also give that to you today. Huku kiomba, yes, you're praying for relocation, you're praying to get something very good in your life. Pray that it comes with blessings and not tears. Ikuje ikuwe a blessing to your life, and those closest to you. I say those closest to you because those people who are not close to you, they will do this. I don't know. I cannot explain it. People take advantage of you very much. Anyway, it was really nice hanging out with you. I hope I helped you in every big or little way. If you have ideas about what I should do next, please put it down up kwa comments, and then I will find content for you and I will upload it. Yeah. Anyway, that is all for today, and I will see you on my next one. Bye bye.